Time for Roseburg basketball on 541radio.com.
Ball poked away by Lake. He gets it out in front for Colin Warmouth in the dunk.
Welcome to this broadcast of Roseburg Sports, presented by CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score. Now, let's get ready for the game. Here's your pregame show host, Joey Kiran.
Hello and good evening, everybody. Welcome in to Stuart W. Robertson Memorial Gymnasium on the campus of Roseburg High School in beautiful Roseburg, Oregon. We welcome you into tonight's contest between the Roseburg boys basketball team and the visiting Bend Lava Bears. It's Roseburg basketball for you tonight here on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score. We hope you are still where you started this afternoon. A windstorm rolling through sure did make life interesting for those of us here living in the Umpqua Basin and in Douglas County. Well, many of people still out there without power as we get on the air here tonight. So however you may be tuning in for tonight's game, we do appreciate you taking the time out of your evening, whether you are sweeping up limbs and leaves and who knows what else out of your driveway after that windstorm this afternoon, or whether you're sitting in the dark listening to it on your little portable radio. However it may be, we welcome you in to tonight's broadcast. I'm Joey Kiran, happy to have you with us here this evening for some Roseburg basketball. The Roseburg boys are coming in 5-1 on the year, coming off of their first loss of the season on Tuesday when the Roseburg boys fell here at home against the visiting Willamette Wolverines 55-41. Meanwhile, the Bend Lava Bears on the other side come in 3-0 on the year. They are here on the road taking on the Roseburg boys after a 68-52 win against the Madras White Buffalo. That one earlier this week as well. Back and forth affair there that we'll talk about more coming up throughout tonight's pregame show. As we get ready for tonight's matchup, I want to remind everybody that tonight's game can be watched streaming live online at 541radio.com. If you've got power and internet at your house or you've got your cell phone out wherever you may be, you can find us online, 541radio.com on the 1490 The Score homepage to stream tonight's game. Watch the action live for free. Watch games archived for a short period of time as well online there at 541radio.com. We get ready for tonight's tip-off. We'll have a quick word with head coach Mike Parton coming up here in the pregame show. We'll look at some keys to tonight's game and recap where these two teams have been so far in the early portion of the season. Lot to go as we get ready for tonight's tip-off. We'll get you into our interview with head coach Mike Parton when we come back. This is the Roseburg Boys Basketball pregame show. You're listening to it live on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage. Stay tuned for more Roseburg basketball on 541radio.com.
Back here with more of our pregame on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score and streaming with video online at 541radio.com. Getting ready for tip-off, the Roseburg boys hosting the Bend Lava Bears here tonight to wrap up the week. And we get a chance to catch up with head coach Mike Parton here in the pregame show. And coach, obviously, tough one on Tuesday, the last one as we look back a little bit here, getting ready for tonight's matchup. Willamette came in and handed you guys your first loss. What kind of learning moments do you try to take from that? I'm sure there's been some things that you've taken from the game film and tried to implement into practice throughout this week.
Well, I think the big thing for us is the same things that we've been talking about. It's taking better care of the ball. We had 15 turnovers after we statted the film, and It was more of a ball control game. You know, if we can keep that in that 10-12 range with that type of game, that helps us. And then they beat us to the boards. They beat us to some loose balls and got 13 offensive rebounds, and that's something that teams haven't been able to do to us. But they did a nice job with it and pulled the ball out, and we were not patient. I think we could have gotten back in the game if we were a little more patient against their zone. And I think we had a tendency to be too perimeter oriented instead of getting the ball inside and out. So those are the things that we're working on, and I'm glad we played Willamette. I think they're an excellent team, and I thought they came out and really busted some tough shots.
And I would imagine going undefeated on the season probably wasn't something that it was a goal at the start of the year, and then not something that you probably would have set as an expectation. So picking up a loss at this point, do you feel like it's a learning moment or maybe a wake-up call for these guys here early on, knowing that, hey, it's going to be a grind night in and night out no matter who we're playing and no matter what our record is? You
know, I think the big thing for us is taking one game at a time, trying to get better, learn from it. I always think there, as a coach, and I know our coaching staff feels this way, is that there's reasons you win and there's reasons you lose, and we have to clue into the things that were going to help us win. And I think Willamette did a nice job of exposing those things, and so as coaches we've learned, and we're going to try to get better each time we step on the floor with it.
We saw Colin Warmoth get into foul trouble early in that one. It's something that's popped its head up back in, I can remember the season opener, Eagle Point. You had a couple of guys get 2 fouls early on in that one, and kind of probably hamstrings a little bit about what you can do with the rotation and which guys can stay out there and spend those minutes out there. Is that something you guys are talking about, being smart about when you're pressing up against a guy with the ball and things like that? I mean, is it something you address, or is it something that those guys just kind of figure out on their own?
No, we talk about it, yeah. We got to quit reaching, play more for deflections. Those are things we obviously talk about. And then I think some guys got to give us better minutes off the bench. I think we have some guys that can give us good minutes, and they have to step up too. And so there's 2 things that are going on right there. So I think that's the challenge, and that's what I'd like to see from our kids coming off our bench.
Tonight you get to take on a Bend team that, based on my research, you guys haven't faced this team in any time recently, and a program that has come up from the 5A ranks. So maybe in a bit of a new club, maybe one you're not familiar with. What kind of things do you know about them and the time that you've gotten a chance to scout them just a little bit?
Well, we've gone to camp with them, and so one thing I know about them is they have guys that can shoot it. They have a really nice big, and they can put it on the floor. He shoots around the elbow areas. They have another guy that has a real quick release. They're looking to run the ball up and down the floor. They're very athletic. So this is a good challenge for us. What's funny is Ben's been 5A, but they're bigger than we are. So the challenge is there, and we're looking forward to it, and I think they're looking forward to it. And this is how you learn about your team. And it's like I've been telling our kids, it's December 14th. We got a long ways to go, a lot of things to get better at, and so we're going to try to do that every night we step on the floor.
Last thing here with head coach Mike Parton in the pregame show, bouncing back from a loss, watching the guys in practice, have you seen them respond to that and respond to the coaching the way you wanted them to as they get ready here tonight?
Yeah, I think we had better practices, I'll be honest with you. I thought our kids went harder and all those types of things, and we've been talking about that. We need to have better practices, and so I thought we had 2 good practices, but the bottom line is we have to play well on Friday night. So this is it. This is our game tonight, and we got to come out and play hard.
All right, looking forward to it tonight as the Roseburg Indians take on the Bend Lava Bears here this evening. Say thanks to head coach Mike Parton for his time in the pregame show. We'll have your starting lineups and plenty more right around the corner here on 1490 The Score. All right.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Well, we welcome you back here to Robertson Memorial Gymnasium as the Roseburg boys get ready to take on the Bend Lava Bears. Tonight's game is brought to you by our friends at Mahalo Heating and Cooling, your best choice for the finest indoor comfort control. Call them today at 672-6707. Also want to say thanks to our friends at Flyaway Travel. Contact their travel experts for your travel plans, now located at 1445 West Harvard Avenue, or give them a call at 672-5701. Roseburg 5-1 on the year. Coming off of that loss against Willamette, you heard head coach Mike Parton talking about how his team has bounced back from the first loss of the season. Roseburg just fell behind early and never really put together a run to try and cut back into the deficit. They pretty much played fairly close with Willamette after falling behind in the first half, but just never could cut into the gap in the second half. Willamette shot 60% from the floor and 5 of 10 from the three-point line to build a 23-16 lead in the first quarter. Colin Warmoth had to sit the entire second quarter with 3 fouls in that first half. And Willamette was able to take advantage of Roseburg's leading scorer being on the bench to get a 12-point lead going into halftime. Roseburg got back to within 7 points in the third quarter, but that's as close as they'd get the rest of the way. Willamette had the answer for the run by Roseburg and stretched it back out to double digits and kept it there throughout much of the second half. It was Roseburg's lowest points scored in a game all season. It was also the most points they've allowed to an opponent in a game all season as well. Roseburg really wasn't terrible from the three-point line, 6 of 18. They shot 5 of 6 from the free throw line, only committed 15 turnovers, one of the lowest numbers they've had all season, but a lower scoring affair. So with that, the other side was taking care of the ball just a little bit better and shooting at a slightly better clip, and that was what led to Willamette giving Roseburg their first loss of the season. As for tonight's visiting team, the Bend Lava Bears, their last one, a 68-52 victory against Madras. Back and forth game through the first 3 quarters. Bend led 33-31 at halftime and took a 41-40 lead with 2:50 left to go in the third quarter. That was the final lead change of the ball game. Bend then went on to outscore Madras 20-9 in the fourth quarter to pull away for the victory, but a tight game. Madras used a full court press throughout the entire game, and that really kind of kept Bend off of their on their heels throughout much of that contest. And putting up a lot of three-pointers was Madras in that game. They had some sharpshooters that were dropping some shots but faded down the stretch, and that helped lead Bend to a 3-0 record on the year. Bend's coming out of the new Mid-Valley Conference. They were in the 5A Intermountain Conference last year where they went 17-8 overall, 8-4. They were in second place out of the 5-team 5A Intermountain Conference. Made it into the first round where they lost to Churchill 83-39. They did not have a very experienced team last year. Graduate just 1 senior from last year's team, in which they had 9 juniors on that team and 3 sophomores. So this is a group that has been growing over the last couple of years with head coach Scott Baker as they come in here tonight to take on the Roseburg boys. As for Roseburg, looking at the series here, there are no previous meetings between these two teams as far as I could tell since 2005. Maybe there were some prior to that, but boy, looking back at the record books, could not find any previous meetings between Bend and Roseburg on the basketball court since 2005. Now, Roseburg did go over to Central Oregon twice this football season, and Roseburg did play Bend in football during the fall, and that was a 40-20 victory in favor of the Lava Bears there. So a little bit of history between these two teams. As for Roseburg this season, they are out to one of their best starts in quite some time. After losing the game on Tuesday against Willamette, they have now matched their record through the first 6 games of the season last year. So they are right about where they were last year. They went 9-3 last year before they started league play. In league play, though, Roseburg had a tough time against the Southwest Conference, and that's what ended up leading them to a last-place finish in the conference standings last year and ended up leaving them outside of the playoff picture. So Roseburg will look to continue a hot start to the season here tonight and see if they can build momentum as they gear up for the start of Southwest Conference play coming up in January. Taking a look at some of the other matchups going on here tonight, we've got out of the Southwest Conference, Sheldon is at Churchill tonight. South Eugene's on the road at Lincoln, and South Medford is hosting Ashland tonight. The Roseburg girls basketball team is on the road at North Eugene. They are playing up there against the Highlanders this evening. The Roseburg girls looking for a victory to snap a losing streak there. Roseburg, you might say, oh, why are they not playing Bend tonight? It might partly be because Roseburg is going to be heading to Central Oregon to Bend for the Summit Holiday Tournament at Mountain View High School coming up during the Christmas holiday break. So maybe they decided not to have the girls travel over there since they're going to be going that direction here in just a little while. Taking a look at those Southwest Conference standings as we count down towards tip-off here between Roseburg and Bend. Roseburg at the top of the standings right now with a 5-1 record. South Eugene at 3-1. Sheldon at 2-4. Grants Pass 1-3 during the non-conference portion of the season. North Medford 0-3, and South Medford 0-5. Prior to our game here tonight, the JV game was a lopsided affair in favor of the Bend Lava Bears. The Roseburg JV boys lost 53-33 to fall to 5-2 on the year. Well, Roseburg gets ready to take on the Bend Lava Bears here tonight. Joey Keyran here with you. A reminder, tonight's game is streaming live online at 541radio.com, where you can watch the action for free. Tonight's game is brought to you by Good Vibration, solutions for home theater and automotive audio. You can feel it at Good Vibes. And tonight's action also brought to you by Fisher's Hearth and Home, serving Douglas County for over 30 years with the largest selection of wood, gas, pellets, and electric stoves and fireplaces in the area. Fisher's Hearth and Home. Getting closer and closer to tip-off between Roseburg and Bend. As we get ready for the matchup tonight, it's time now to take a look at tonight's Supercuts starting lineup. Supercuts in the Steelhead Run Plaza across from Starbucks on Garden Valley Boulevard. Save time and check out styles online at supercuts.com. We'll start out with the visiting team tonight, led by head coach Scott Baker, assistant coach Clint Berry. Their lineup will feature, it looks like, 5 seniors out there. We'll start out with Jimmy Robertson, the 5'8" guard. Will be one of the few guards out there on the floor for the Lava Bears. Justin Kerr, a 6' senior wing. Brian Warrener, a 6'6" senior wing. The tallest man on the roster for this Bend squad. He'll be joined by a 6'1" guard, a senior, Brock Meserich. And rounding out the starting 5 for Scott Baker will be senior 6'5" post, Brian Brown. Some good size on the roster there for the Bend Lava Bears. 6'5", 6'6" in the starting lineup. That should give Roseburg's bigs a little bit of something to work against here tonight. Let's go ahead and take a look at your starting 5 for the Roseburg boys. It should look familiar. It's the same starting lineup we've had for all 6 games so far this season. Senior, 6'5" post, Storm Scott will man down low, averaging 15.5 points per game, coming off of 11 points against Willamette on Tuesday. He had a double-double with 10 rebounds as well. Jet Black, the junior guard, had a career night on Tuesday for the Roseburg boys, scored 11 points as he hit 3 3-pointers. He comes in shooting 43% from behind the arc and averaging 5.8 points per game. Caden Seeley, a senior guard, averaging 3.2 points. Will get the start tonight. Does a little bit of everything for Roseburg. The 2-time first-team all-conference selection, senior guard Colin Warmoth, averaging 24 points per game, coming off of a season low of 14 points against Willamette on Tuesday. He'll try to rebound tonight after spending the second quarter on the bench last game on Tuesday because of foul trouble. He'll try to clean it up tonight here as he helps Roseburg look for their 6th victory of the year. And down in the paint, you'll find Jonathan Stone, the 6'7" senior, averaging 4.5 points per game and 4.7 rebounds, 1.7 blocks per game. He will round out the starting 5 for head coach Mike Parton in his 5th year leading this Roseburg boys basketball program, 18th year overall. That is a look at your Supercuts starting lineups here on CBS Sports Radio. 1490 the score. We'll continue on with the pregame show. A quick note to pass along here. I was informed by a couple of the coaches here from Roseburg, including former Roseburg football coach Thurman Bell, who is here tonight to take in tonight's action. He let me know that the head coach for the Bend Lava Bears, Scott Baker, actually has a connection here to Roseburg. His father, Larry Baker, a former Roseburg football coach for a long time back in the 70s and 80s. It was a name I mentioned to head coach Mike Pardon, and Coach Pardon knew that name as well, sounded very familiar with it as well. Well, former Roseburg coach Larry Baker passed away on Monday this week. Again, the father of Bend head coach Scott Baker. We send out a very heartfelt condolences to the Baker family on the passing of Larry, a former Roseburg coach, and we wish the best to them as they deal with the grief of losing a loved one here this week. Oh, we count down towards tip-off. About 3 minutes to go here before Roseburg and Bend will tip off. A little bit of a late start with the JV game going just a little long, not too long here tonight. We've had a couple of slow finishes to those JV games. Usually that means things have been close. As we mentioned earlier, the Roseburg boys JV team lost 53-33 against Bend earlier here tonight. I want to say thanks to Pepsi and Bigfoot Beverages sponsoring things here this evening, helping us get Roseburg basketball on the radio for you here tonight. Well, folks, as we have a moment, also want to mention tomorrow it's the Rudolph Run taking place here in Roseburg. Brook Communications and the 5 radio stations that it owns is getting ready for the Rudolph Run coming up tomorrow. 1490 The Score will be a part of that, along with News Radio 1240 KQEN, Best Country 103, 104.5 Sam FM, and I-101 FM as well. They'll all be a part of the Rudolph Run coming up tomorrow morning. Starts at 10 o'clock. We'll take off from the Cascade Community Credit Union on Harvard Avenue. And from there, we'll make stops at, I believe it's somewhere around 17 local businesses helping support needy kids here in Douglas County this holiday season. There are barrels for dropping off donated toys, unwrapped toys that will then be given to children around the area to help make sure that this holiday season is a special one. There's still time. If you want, you can drop off unwrapped toys, new unwrapped toys at the Cascade Community Credit Union tomorrow while we wait to get things started. We'll be there probably around 9 o'clock, take off around 10 o'clock with the Rudolph Run. So a lot of time for you to still drop off some toys if you'd like to be a part of that coming up tomorrow. Again, out at the Cascade Community Credit Union Harvard Avenue branch, you can stop by and drop off toys there. And if anything, you can get the motorcycle out. It's supposed to be dry tomorrow. At least that's what I was saying when I was on the radio the other day on News Radio 1240 KQEN, helping fill in on the news side, doing the weather report in the morning. It was telling me it's going to be dry tomorrow, and sure enough, it looks like my phone is agreeing that might be a little cloudy, but at least it won't be like it was here today. So that's good news. Bust out the motorcycle, bundle up, and get out there to enjoy the Rudolph Run. It's a fun time strolling through town. You get to run through red lights and be a part of the parade. And most importantly, you get to be out there and feel good that you're doing something good here around Douglas County and helping out kids in our community. So hopefully we'll get a chance to see you out there at Rudolph Run. If you are out and about tomorrow and you happen to run into a large contingency of motorcycles and vehicles that seem to be blocking traffic, we apologize for the inconvenience. Give us a moment. We'll get out of your way. We are out there hoping to do some good in the community. All right, the countdown is done. It's time for tip-off. Stay with us. We'll have your play-by-play coming up next as the Roseburg Indians host the Bend Lava Bears for boys basketball tonight. Coming up next on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
Here's what's coming up for Roseburg basketball. Watch Roseburg basketball games at 541radio.com.
Justin Kerr at 6'6", the senior number 4.
Getting ready for tip-off here tonight as the Roseburg boys take on the Ben Lava Bears. Joey Keyran here with you. Want to say thanks to Brent Cranford back in the studio for the radio production here tonight. Big thanks to Heather Nelson running the video production here this evening on site, and to Josh Nelson helping out with stats and other information here this evening. Tonight's PA announcer is Kyle Bailey. Is down there announcing tonight's starting lineups. The Ben Lava Bears come in wearing their dark navy blue. They've got the gold numbers on the front and the back outline in a thin white stripe. Horizontal trim up and down the side. Bit of a diagonal look to it, actually. Lava Bears across the chest for Bend here tonight. Again, your starting 5 for Bend: Jimmy Robertson, Justin Kerr, Brian Warner, Brock Meserich, and Brian Brown. Roseburg will be wearing their home whites here again tonight. Roseburg across the chest in black. Numbers on the front and the back in black, outlined in that thin orange stripe. They've got the maze-like look of the detail up and down the side of the jerseys as well, the new Nike jerseys for the Roseburg boys. Roseburg will move left to right on your radio dials. They get ready to tip things off here this evening. We'll remind you, Roseburg starting 5, Storm Scott, Jet Black, Caden Seeley, Colin Warmouth, and Jonathan Stone. Those are your Supercut starting lineups as we get ready for tip-off coming up here in just a moment. Before we get things started, I want to say thanks to our sponsor, Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair. Are you ready to go where life takes you? In the center circle, you'll have Jonathan Stone tipping for Roseburg at 6'7". We'll wait to see who takes his spot in that center circle against him. I do believe it's going to be one of the big men. It will be Brian Warner who will tip. They look pretty close in size. We've got Warner at 6'6", Stone at 6'7". The tip is won by Roseburg. And Roseburg will move left to right on your radio dial. Warmouth picks up the dribble, passes right side to Jet. Looking underneath, not able to find Storm. He'll dribble it back to the top to reset. Far side to Warmouth. He'll drive in, reset. He loses his defender, goes with a scoop shot. He missed it on the double clutch. Underneath, he fought for the rebound, couldn't pull it in. Bend will come up the floor with it. On the far side, Robertson into the corner. Stolen away by Warmouth. And Roseburg will have the takeaway. He pulled it right out of the hands of Justin Kerr. Up the floor we go. To the near side. Backdoor cutter to Warmouth. Double team. He goes over the bigs underneath. Rebound tipped, and it'll go out off of Roseburg. Warmouth had a nice backdoor cut. The feed from Jet found him open on that right block, but as he turned, he found himself into the bodies of Brian Warner and Brian Brown, a couple of 6'5" guys, and he got cut off. He's just off with the shot. 0-0, still almost a minute ticked away in the first quarter. Out at the top with it, Warner. Scored 27 games against Madras, their last game out. Out at the top, a catch-and-shoot turnaround three. Brock Meserich will put it through, and Bend will take the first lead, 3-0 here against Roseburg. 6:55 to play, first quarter. Warmouth, bounce pass to Seeley, right back to him. He works to the left side, hands it off to Jet. Give and go, knocked out of the hands from Warmouth, and a foul from the backside. Marking up against Colin here early on, Justin Kerr, the senior, trying to mark Roseburg's leading scorer. And I do believe the foul went against him. It is. First foul against Kerr. First team foul against Ben. Into the corner, catch and shoot three for Warmouth, and he gets it to roll through. Ties it up at 3-all. Bringing the ball up the floor, Robertson. Pass to the near side into the corner for Kerr. Marked by Warmoth. Back out to the top. It's Brown with it. The big man passes it away. To the right side for Meserich. Dribbles around a screen. The pick and roll didn't quite work. Fighting for it on the floor, and a kick ball. Roseburg basketball. It was loose. Brown went to the floor. He was trying to pass it away, and as he did so, Roseburg had hands all over it, and Brown stuck his foot up to try and kick the ball away. Gets called for it. Turnover by Bend. It'll go to Roseburg. Up the floor to the near corner. Lob it down underneath. Ball poked away from behind. Brown with the steal. Now Stone fighting for it, and a foul is going to be called. Stone had trapped Warner in the corner and had poked the ball out of his hands, but the fight for the basketball, Stone gets called for the shove. It'll be his first team foul against Roseburg. 6 minutes to go, first quarter, tied at 3. To the near wing. With it, Robertson looking underneath, no one there. Back out to the top, Kerr driving against Warmoth. Kick out a 3 from Robertson, and Jimmy Robertson will get his first 3. Pair of 3 so far for Bend, and 1 for Roseburg. 6-3 your score. Jet Black, he hit a couple of 3s last time out. Step into a 2. Colin Warmoth steps just inside the arc for a 2-pointer. And he will get Roseburg back within 1. A 3 from the top. It rims out underneath. Storm with the rebound. From the top, that was Warner trying to force the 3. He could not get it. Driving in, Seeley tried a scoop shot. He split the defense, just came up a bit short. Robertson up the floor, gets called for a carry. Wanted a stutter step, and he hung on too long. Robertson will turn it back over to Roseburg. 5:19 to play. First quarter action. 6-5. Roseburg down by 1. Warmoth brings it through that center circle. Storm comes to get it at the top straight away. Roseburg's second leading scorer, looking to try and get something going. He'll step back out behind the arc, gets it on a give and go here with, that is with Jet Black. He got himself caught, forced it up, and it was well off the mark. Rebound quickly down to Ben, and they bring it up the floor quickly. Around a screen, a 3, long rebound, comes down to Brown. He feeds it to Warner, who goes up with the shot, and Warner will head to the free throw line as he gets fouled. That 3 from Meserich was well off the mark, but good job on the glass by the Lava Bears to give themselves another look at it. They draw the foul, and Warner to the free throw line. Foul goes against Jonathan Stone, and early foul trouble for him. He picks up his second. Warner puts through the first free throw, and Jonathan Stone will take a seat. Carson Ellis will come into the game for Roseburg. Substitutions also for Bend. Justin Kerr and Brock Meserich come out of the game. Second free throw for Warner is good. He hits a pair, makes it a 3-point game again, 8-5. Noah Miller is checked in for Bend as Carson Ellis weaves through the middle of the defense, kicks it out to Jet Black, and Jet hits the 3. Ties us back up at 8. Up the floor quickly for Bend. A long 2 is good for the newly entered Trevin Reeser. Puts Ben back in front, 10-8 your score. Back and forth we go here in the first quarter. Roseburg has not led as of yet. Ellis picks up his dribble, wanted to get it to Warmoth. Warmoth has to come and get it from him. Warmoth on the right side, crossover into the lane. His floater is good. Got a lot of contact. He fought through it and ties the game back up at 10-all. 4:12 to go. A 3 from the right side, short. Rebound right to Storm Scott. Noah Miller's first shot of the night did not get close, and a foul called as Storm. He got the rebound and quickly went up floor. And right at the free throw line, tried to make his move and got a reach-in foul called. That one goes against Brian Warner. Brian Brown will check out of the game for Bend. Hand off to Ellis on the inbound. Gets it into the corner. Warmoth, the turnaround 3. He's got it. And Roseburg will have their first lead of the night. 13-10. Roseburg in front. Under 4 minutes to play first quarter. To the near side with it, Noah Miller. Looking underneath. Back out to the top. Stolen away by Warmoth. He's out in front. 1-on-1. And he'll avoid the defense to lay it in. The steal and the bucket, and Roseburg's up by 5. 15-10. To the near side, Miller with it. Back out to the top. They whip it around the perimeter. Robertson holds at the right wing and back to Warner at the top. He'll back it out. Working against Scott. To the left side, Miller. The give and go not there. Screen on the baseline. A baseline jumper rims out, and Scott will get the rebound off the mark for Max Tykero. his first shot as he comes into the game. Jet will have it on the far side. Roseburg will set up their offense in the half court. To Ellis on the near side. Dribbles back to the top, back to Jet. Had an open look at a three, doesn't take it. On a give and go with Seeley. Puts it up from the left side. Gets knocked to the floor, no whistle. Rebound down to Ben. They'll bring it up the floor. Bounce past the middle of the lane. And a travel call. And that has head coach Scott Baker for Bend a little bit confused. He wanted a foul call. Instead, it'll be a turnover for Bend. Caught underneath. I believe that was Trevin Reeser. Kind of got his balance off, and he got a little bumped and just ended up walking with it. Pass to Warmouth at the top, poked out from behind, ends up after it ping-pongs around to Ellis. He feeds Storm Scott at the top for a three, straight away, and Roseburg's up by 8. It's been an 8-0 run, up the floor, left side, Kerr thought about the three, tries to dribble in against Seeley. He gets redirected. Back out to the top, to the far side of the floor, Robertson. Goes the opposite way around a screen, passes through the defense. Warner driving in, met by 3 Roseburg defenders, and he'll get a shot at the free throw line as he gets bounced around by 3 bodies. They'll call that foul against Jet Black. And heading to the free throw line will be Brian Warner, the senior. 2 for 2 from the line after his first trip. Trying to cut into this 8-point deficit. Roseburg on an 8-0 run. First free throw, rims out, no good. Roseburg basketball on 1490 The Score is brought to you by our friends at Bi-Mart. Score big at Bi-Mart where you can get ready for your season for less. Second free throw attempt coming here for Warner. He's got it. That'll stop the Roseburg run. 8-1 at the moment. Substitutions in. Aaron Chopra and Brock Messerich back into the game. Warner takes his seat. And so did Noah Miller. Warmouth brings the ball up the floor for Roseburg, counting down to 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Roseburg up by 7. Pass to the free throw line to Scott. He'll try the step-back jumper. Buries it. He had that James Harden step-back. Puts it in from just outside the free throw line. Far side, a long three for Bend. Rims out, rebound, put back no good for Brown. And down with the rebound is D'Angelo Adams, who has come into the game. That three was off the mark by Messerich. Trying to fight through his screen. Warmouth gets it to Scott. Scott, his step back on a three. Looks good. It is. Right on target for Storm Scott. He's quickly got 8 points in the game, and Roseburg's out. Oh, excuse me. I gave him a 3. It looks like it was a 2. So we'll make it 7 points in the game for Storm. 22-11. Roseburg in front by 11. Tipped around. It'll stay with Bend. Caden Seeley and Xavier Avilés will come into the game. Storm Scott and Jet Black will take a seat for Roseburg. Storm coming alive late in this first quarter, has 7. Jet had the 1-3 as he takes a seat. Inbound into the corner for Robertson. Back out. Kerr's going to try a long 3. It's good. Justin Kerr gets his first points of the night on a much-needed 3 for Bend. They're back within 8, 22-14. Ellis left side to Adams. Looking for that cutter underneath. It's not there. Back to Ellis. Drives right side. Bumped. The continuation is shot no good. Fight for it underneath. And a foul called on Avilés, who turns and says, "What, me?" Fighting for the rebound. He almost bear hugged the rebounder for Bend. 1:03 to play first quarter. Roseburg with 14 fouls. That's the first against Xavier. Into the corner here for Kerr. Looking for those cutters through the middle. Finally, Brian Brown will come out to get it. Brown to the right side to Messerich. Messerich marked by Adams, dribbles left side. Pass it off to Kerr. Sidestep once, drives into the lane. His floater is a little long. Back iron no good. Brown with the rebound and the putback. Off the glass is good. Another 2 points there for Brown. Actually, his first 2. Back to a 6-point game, 22-16. Feed it underneath to Avilés, working high off the glass, and Xavier. I've said it before, I'll say it again. His game doesn't necessarily scream out highlight reel, but it is effective. He gets the job done underneath, bulldozing his way to the rim. Left side, Kerr. Back out to the top to Warner. He gets it back as he directs the offense. Robertson will come to get it at the right wing. 4 seconds to play first quarter. Back to Warner. A three at the buzzer. Off the front iron, no good. And that's how the first quarter will come to an end. The Roseburg Indians lead 24-16. After 1 quarter of play, Roseburg in front by 8 here on CBS Sports Radio, 1490, The Score.
Here's what's coming up for Roseburg basketball. Watch Roseburg basketball games at 541radio.com.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
Second quarter action for you. Roseburg leads 24-16. Bend will start with the basketball, moving right to left on your radio dial. Noah Miller with it out on the far side around the screen. Thought about the spot up three, doesn't take it. Out at the top, Justin Kerr's got it. He'll take the three. Long, back iron, no good. Scott comes down with the rebound. Roseburg will bring it up the floor. Storm Scott, Caden Seeley, Xavier Avilés, Carson Ellis, and D'Angelo Adams out on the floor for the Indians. Avilés gets it. It had bounced around. He tried to pass it out to the top to Seeley, but Seeley had started cutting to the basket. It's taken away by Ben. Kerr drives into the middle. Dishes back out. Meserich, a three. It's off the mark. And the rebound, a foul on the rebound attempt. And that foul will go against Caden Seeley, his first. 15 foul against Roseburg, 2 team fouls against Bend. Around the screen, Meserich gets it into the corner to Kerr. Back out to the top. Miller going to try a three. It's off the mark. Rebound into the hands of Carson Ellis. Roseburg will have the basketball. Ellis will do the point, bring it up the floor. Colin Warmoth, after a quick break, only about a minute of game time on the bench. He's ready to check in at the next dead ball. D'Angelo Adams tries his first shot of the night, a three from the right wing, no good. Ben down with the rebound, up the floor. Kerr, he's going to try one from 3 feet behind the arc. It's too long, and the rebound goes to Adams and Ella and Seeley. They were fighting for it against each other, but they do hang on to it. Seeley will bring the ball up the floor. Roseburg leading 24-16, 6:39 to go in the first half. Substitutions waiting for both sides at the next dead ball. In the corner, Scott. He had it poked away. Warner with the strong defense takes it away for Ben. Lava Bears bring it up. Nobody matching against Brock Meserich. His three was well off the mark, but credit underneath. Brian Brown cleaning up the glass, the offensive board, and the points. 24-18 your score, back to a 6-point game. Roseburg is led by 11 in this one at 22-11. In the corner, Scott driving, right hand, dishes it back out to the top. Avilés going to try a three. It's just off the mark, but a nice rebound by Scott. He'll get it to Ellis. Into the corner, Ellis back to the top. It's a three for Scott. He buries it in. Second three of the night on his second attempt for Storm Scott. 27-18, back to a 9-point lead now for Roseburg. Right side Kerr to the top to Warner. Bend looking to try and cut into the deficit. They led by as many as 3 in the first half. Ball poked away. It'll stay in the half court. Miller tracks it down to Meserich. 5.5 to play, first half. A lot of substitutions waiting. No dead ball recently. Warner out the top, goes around a screen. The give and go. And underneath, foul call. That's going to go against Seeley, I do believe. Not the give and go, but the pick and roll. Screen set by Brown. And Warner between the defense. The bounce pass perfect in the lane. And at the rim, Brian Brown mugged as he went up with the shot. 5:23 to play. And Brown going to the free throw line. The senior's first shot rattles around and falls through. Tonight's game on 1490 The Score is brought to you by Cascade Community Credit Union, belong to Douglas County. Coming up, we'll have your more well drilling halftime show. Stay tuned for that. We'll recap the first half, get you individual stats, and take a look at some of the scores as well from around the region. Second free throw long. Rebound down to Warmouth, who was checked into the game. Warmouth, Avilés, Scott, Seeley, and Black out on the floor for Roseburg. Miller, Robertson, Brown, Reeser, and Robertson out on the floor for Bend. Is a long three from Colin Warmouth. Clanks its way through the rim, and Roseburg at 30 points, now leading once again by 11. And now Warmouth steps in front of a pass, steals it away. He didn't have the numbers. He'll hold up, but he got trapped in the corner in the half court, and his pass is stolen away by Miller. And Bend will have it back up the floor. Warner, quick pass left side. Miller a three, looks on target. It rolls through. And a timeout down on the floor for the Lava Bears. They're back within 8. And they call a timeout to talk about it. We'll take a quick 30-second break. Roseburg leads 30-22 on top of Bend here on 1490. The Score. Roseburg basketball out of the Bend timeout. A three by the Lava Bears gets them back within 8. 4:37 to play. Second quarter. Warmouth brings the ball up the floor, hands it off to Seeley. Roseburg working left to right. Scott comes to get it at the top. Bounce pass to the right elbow. Gets it back from Aviles. A three from Scott. His third of the night. He's 3 for 3 from behind the arc, and Roseburg's out to an 11-point lead once again. 4:18 to go. Warner to the left side. Miller, who just had the three for Bend, holds on the left wing. Trying to feed it underneath. No real way to get it underneath to Warner. He'll go back out to the top to set a screen for Robertson. Left side around the screen. The pick and roll not there. To the left side now at the wing. Miller dribbles to the top. Step back. No thought about the three. Ball poked away. Warmouth out in front. He'll go up. He throws it down. Colin Warmouth with the dunk, and Roseburg has his biggest lead at 13. That gets the crowd in their ugly Christmas sweaters going. Drive in. Robertson kick into the corner. Three by Miller. And that will get Bend back into it. Miller gets his second three of the game. Back to a 10-point margin. 35-25, 3:34 to go. Warmouth holding at the left wing, back out to Jet. Jet pointing to his right, wants Storm to come out to the top. He'll get it. Between the circles, pass top of the key to Avilés. Dribbling right side, bounces it to Jet. He had an open look at a three. Whistle. Count the bucket. Yes, they will. The three counts and the foul away from the basketball. It's a Roseburg foul, but does the bucket count? The bucket does count, yes. Jet will get credit for the three to put Roseburg in front by 13 again. But then the foul called against Roseburg, and that goes against Caden Seeley, picking up his second. Coming out of the game for Bend will be Trevin Reeser. So Bend will get the basketball after the foul. Roseburg get 7 fouls, so into the bonus now is Bend with 3:11 to go in the first half, and a foul right side of the lane. Robertson trying to squeeze his way through a couple of defenders. He gets pushed around, and I think it's 1-and-1s. D'Angelo Adams will check in for Caden Seeley. And it is 1-and-1s. They're trying to alert him from the scorer's table. 18 fouls against Roseburg, and Robertson will head to the free throw stripe. High school sports on 1490 The Score is brought to you by DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone's welcome to shop. It'll be one of our mini stops tomorrow for Rudolph Run. The rebound pulled down by Scott as the free throw missed by Jimmy Robertson. Roseburg will come up the floor. Scott into the lane, double team, bounce underneath. Avilés back out to Adams. He passes back out to the top. Right side, Warmouth to Avilés at the top. Good defense by Bend as they recovered there. Oh, the give and go over the top of the defense. Avilés underneath will score, and Roseburg to 40 points here in the first half. On top by 15, their largest margin. Driving in, Warner with the double clutch. That ball almost looked like it didn't want to stay in, but it finally drops through. 40-27. Scott, head fake, drives baseline against Warner. Cuts him off, and he'll pass back out. Roseburg will reset, 2:27 to go. Hand off to Jet, into the corner for Storm. Back out to the top, one-handed pass to Adams. He finds Aviles underneath one-on-one, and Aviles wanted to pass back out to the top to reset. Storm was moving to his right. The pass went to his left, and he wasn't able to recover to get back to the basketball. Turnover by Roseburg, and they'll walk down to the other side of the floor. Inbound from the far sideline near midcourt. Bend will have it, trailing by 13, 40-27. Down to about 2 minutes to play first half. Left side wing, Robertson at the top. Nearly had the ball poked away. Twice almost had it stolen, but he keeps it. He'll reset. The 5'8" guard passes left side to the 6'6" wing. Warner back to Robertson. Head fake. He'll pass it away into the corner. Meserich out to the top, a long two. He buries it. He had a foot on the line. Meserich will get his first 2-point field goal of the night. 40-29, back to 11 points. Ben cutting into the 15-point deficit. In the corner, Scott, a rainbow three falls through, and I have not seen Storm Scott this hot from behind the arc all season. He's got 4. 4 from behind the arc, and Roseburg's out to a 43-29 lead. Robertson, he trips over a Roseburg foot and then gets called for a travel. He wanted a foul call. He's not going to get it, and Roseburg gets the ball back after the turnover. 1:22 to play first half. Roseburg in front by 14. A basket here gives them their largest lead of the night. Warmouth brings it through the center circle, just to the edge of that black R outlined in orange. Had the ball poked away, but it goes right to Jet Black. He'll hand it off to Storm. Storm to the far side to Adams. Behind the back dribble. Now has it poked away by Roberts, but Adams gets it back. Now he has a double team. Poked her out of bounds on the sideline, and it'll stay with Roseburg. Coach Barton comes up from the end of the bench out towards midcourt, yelling out directions as they line up for the inbound pass. 43-29 with just about 60 seconds to go in the first half. Jet will inbound it. Gets it into Warmouth. He's marked by Justin Kerr. Driving left side, back to the elbow to Aviles, out to Jet. Jet underneath. Aviles lost his defender, and he's able to put it off the glass for another 2. 16-point lead for Roseburg, their largest of the night. Left side, Meserich with it behind the arc by a couple of feet. Marked by Warmouth. He'll pull the trigger on the 3, and it's just a bit short, and down with the rebound is Jet. Since hitting his first 3, Meserich has missed his last 5 attempts from behind the arc. Aviles, right side of the lane, gets it out to Storm. He pulls up from the left elbow. No good. Short on the shot. Storm Scott has been hot, but he misses that one. Robertson gets it to Kerr on the left side and back out to the top. 16 seconds to play in the first half. Roseburg trying to hold on to the 16-point lead against Bend. Trying to give the Lava Bears their first loss of the season with a whole half to go still. Driving in, the bucket and the foul. Jet Black hacking at the basketball as Robertson got around him. He gets to the glass and finishes with the right hand. Will head to the free throw line for the 3-point play.
Jimmy Robertson for line for Ben.
Robertson missed his only free throw attempt so far. Tries to get the traditional 3-point play. 6.2 seconds left to go in the game. And the free throw does fall through. So that'll allow substitutions to come in. Nate Monday checks into the game. So does Adam Chopra. They will apply some full court pressure with 6.2 to go. They'll go with the baseball pass down the floor. Warmouth gets it at the rim. The bucket does not go, but he draws the foul and will head to the line. And Roseburg makes the most of a full 2 seconds on that inbound. They'll send Colin Warmouth, the best free throw shooter on the team, to the free throw stripe. First trip to the line for any Roseburg player tonight. Roseburg will pull a couple of guys out from the free throw lane to protect from a last-second bucket for Ben. The first free throw for Warmouth is good. Substitutions into the game for Ben. I assume they are putting in their 3-point shooters. Ishan Chopra, he is one of the players that checks out. Did not get a chance to mention that he had come into the game. And it's going to be a lane violation against Roseburg, I believe, called against D'Angelo Adams. I was not looking up at the time to see what he was called for. Mike Parton putting an argument on. Ball rolled up. A 3 from Robertson. He gets it at the buzzer. Jimmy Robertson will bury in the buzzer, and that takes us to a 10-point game. Make it an 11-point game. I did not add, for those watching online at 541radio.com, did not add the free throw from Colin Warmouth. 46-35, your score as we head to the halftime break. Roseburg in front of Bend, looking to bounce back after that first loss of the season earlier this week on Tuesday. We'll talk all about it as we head to the more well-drilling halftime show on CBS Sports Radio, 1490, The Score.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
Here's what's coming up for Roseburg basketball.
Watch Roseburg basketball games at 541radio.com.
Hello and good evening, everybody. We welcome you in to the more well-drilling halftime show. Keeping Douglas County green since 1947. Give them a call at 541-459-4039. At the break, the Roseburg boys lead 46-35. Joey Keyran here with you. Welcome in here on a stormy night in Roseburg. The Indians lead by as many as 16 in this first half. They take the 11-point lead into the halftime break. At the break here, Roseburg on top, one of their largest halftime leads of the season. A nice night to start here. They came in averaging 63.8 points per game with 46 in the first half. They look to be well on their way to a possible match of their season average. Their season high is 77 points. They had their season low on Tuesday against Willamette at 41. 24-16 was your score at the end of the first quarter. Roseburg up by 8 at that point in time. In the second quarter, Ben never really did get it down to single digits, and Roseburg able to stretch it out to 16. An 11-point lead at the moment as Roseburg outscores Ben 22-19 in that second period. Roseburg gets some sharp shooting from Storm Scott in the first into the second period. And Colin Warmouth has a big first half as well. The 2 leading scorers off the bench, Xavier Avilés having a nice night for the Roseburg boys. Over on the other side, for the Ben Lava Bears, they have been shooting a lot of threes. Haven't been making as many as I'm sure they'd like, but a nice second quarter from Jimmy Robertson helped the Ben Lava Bears stay in this one. We will go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we'll take a look at some of those individual statistics from the first half of this one. Roseburg leads 46-35 at the halftime break. You're listening to Roseburg basketball and the more well-drilling halftime show on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
Stay tuned for more Roseburg basketball from 541radio.com.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
The Morwell Drilling halftime show continues. Joey Keyran here with you from Roseburg High School. Roseburg leads 46-35. Let's take a look at some of your individual statistics from the first half. And a quick reminder to stay tuned for the post-game show where we will name our Abby's Legendary Pizza Legendary Player of the Game. First for the visiting team, leading the way with 9 points is Jimmy Robertson. Robertson scores 6 in the second period to get to 9 points so far in tonight's game. 6 points for Noah Miller. You've got 5 points for Brian Warrener and Brock Meserich. 5 points for Brian Brown as well. 3 for Justin Kerr. And you've got 2 points for Trevin Reeser as well. On the other side, or actually looking at rebound numbers, leading the way Brian Brown with 6. For Ben, they have a total of 8 turnovers in the ball game so far. For the Roseburg boys, leading the way with 18 points is Colin Warmuth. Right behind him with 16 is Storm Scott. Scott scoring 9 in the second quarter on 3 3-pointers. 6 points for Jet Black and 6 points for Xavier Avilés, and that is your scoring tonight for the Roseburg boys. Leading rebounder, Storm Scott with 6. D'Angelo Adams had 2. Colin Warmuth and Carson Ellis with 1 as well. Roseburg with 5 turnovers in the first half of tonight's ball game. Got a minute here before we take our final break, before we get back for the second half. Let's go ahead and take a look at a few scores from tonight's action around the Umpqua Basin. We'll start out with some boys basketball scores. Final earlier today, South Umpqua loses against Phoenix 86-56 from the Evergreen tournament. Sutherland in the Les Schwab Holiday Coast tournament wins against North Valley 48-26. Earlier tonight, the Roseburg JV team lost 53-33 against Bend. On the girls' side, 46-33 your final score. Perrydale beats Days Creek. Elkton loses by 3 against Country Christian, 52-49. And South Umpqua girls fall against Fall River from California, 45-35. The Sutherland girls lost 54-40 against Astoria. That'll wrap it up here for the Morwell Drilling halftime show. We'll come back with the second half after this 60-second break on 1490 The Score.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Welcome you back for the start of the third quarter. Roseburg basketball on 1490 The Score. Roseburg leads 46-35, and they start out with the basketball. They'll move right to left on your radio dial. Storm Scott with the basketball at the top around a screen from Jonathan Stone. Gets trapped at the right elbow. Underhand pass to Colin Warmoth, who pulls up on a three. And Warmoth in traffic buries his fourth three of the night. Roseburg shooting well from behind the arc. 49-35 your score. Out to a 16-point lead once again, the largest of the night for the Roseburg boys. Taking a look at your second half starters. For Bend, underneath Brian Brown, the big man. He misses a little long on his shot right underneath the basket. For Bend, Brown, Robertson, Warrener, as Roseburg looked for the cutter. Somehow that gets back and then tried to go for the dunk. And Storm Scott gets fouled on the way up by Brian Warrener. And the Bend fans got a little excited about that one, but Scott goes to the free throw line on the foul. So taking a look at those second half starters. Brian Brown out there on the floor. Brian Warrener, who picks up his second foul of the game. Brock Messerich out there along with Justin Kerr and Jimmy Robertson rounding out your starting five for the Lava Bears. I'll take a look at the Roseburg boys as the second one misses for Storm. 1 of 2 from the line for him here in the third quarter. 50-35 is your score. 15-point lead for Roseburg. Messerich on the right wing, thought about a three, doesn't take it. Out to Robertson. Pump fake at the free throw line, finds the cutter at the baseline. Brown could not put it through, and saving the rebound back in bounds goes Jet Black. Up the floor, Jonathan Stone in the corner. Crossover dribble, goes baseline, got trapped. He passes to Seeley in the corner. Out to Jet in the middle. Scott with the left hand, no good. And Scott flying in to get the rebound. Colin Warmoth ends up tipping it out off of Bend, and it'll stay with Roseburg. So out there on the floor, Warmoth, Seeley, Scott, Stone, and Jet. As they go with the original starting five, they try to go with the lob to the rim, and it's just off the mark to Jonathan Stone, and Roseburg will turn it over. Up the floor, Ben Robertson going to the rack, and he got bumped by Jet, who has his hands straight in the air, looking around, befuddled. He doesn't know how he got called for that foul, and Jet's going to pick up, I believe, his third. It should be, it looks like the first on Roseburg here in the second half. One on Ben so far. They're not getting the foul up there as of right now. First free throw for Robertson, as he is got fouled in the act of shooting. He'll bury the first to get it back to a 14-point game. Carson Ellis comes in for Jet Black, who actually has 4 personal fouls. Second one for Robertson, buries it. 50-37 your score. 6:23 to play in the third period. Seeley with it on the near side, went through his hands. He lost the basketball. Stone will track it down, and he gets called for a double dribble. And that was a glare at the official by Stone. He had used a dribble to collect the basketball and then put it back on the floor again. And Roseburg's going to take an early timeout. Roseburg will take a 30-second timeout. We'll burn one as well. Back after this on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
.6:15 to play in the third period. Roseburg basketball on 1490 The Score, brought to you by Mahalo Heating and Cooling, your best choice for the finest indoor comfort control. Robertson will bring the ball up the floor for Ben. They try to cut into a 13-point deficit. Robertson right side. Ball off the foot of Colin Warmoth and out of bounds. It'll stay with Bend, inbounding from their own baseline. Roseburg looking to bounce back after their first loss of the year. Ben trying to avoid its first loss of the season. Out to the top, Messerich with it to the far side, and a whistle away from the basketball. Turnover by Bend. A foul away from the ball. And they called that one, I think, against Warner. Might have been Meserich. No, it is Warner who picks up. I have that down for his third. It is. Second team foul against Ben. Third foul against their biggest player. Warmouth at the top, head fake, stepped around Storm Scott, now dumps it over the top of the defense to him. Ellis in the corner, a three, off the glass, almost falls through. Took an awkward angle and does not want to go. Up the floor, and Ellis, a block on the other side as Brown goes up. He was right underneath the hoop. The pass a little too long, gave him an awkward angle, and Ellis takes advantage as he gets the swat. Roseburg on the other side. Stone out at the top between the leg dribble, hands it off to Warmouth. Picked up his dribble, almost traveled, passed it back to Stone, to the near side to Ellis, into the corner. They get it to Stone underneath, trying to work one-on-one. Back to the top, Scott, a three, looks short, it is. His first miss from behind the arc tonight. Lava Bears come up with the rebound. Ball saved back in as Warmouth almost had a steal, but nobody from his team there to get it. Good effort, just didn't have the help from the team. Not anybody else's fault. That ball just saved in, and he couldn't quite get it to a teammate. Allows Roseburg's defense to set up, though. Cradling the basketball, driving in. Warner can't get the bucket to fall as it sits on the front lip of the rim. But he heads to the free throw line as he draws a foul. And that is the first tonight against Colin Warmouth. Coming off of a game where he picked up 3 fouls in the first period, the first 3 minutes of the game. Colin Warmouth picking up his first personal here in the third quarter. A nice turnaround for him. And on the free throw shot, Warner misses the front end. He'll get another one. He is 3 for 5 from the line here tonight. 50-37 our score with 4:53 to play in the third period. Second free throw does go. Been a bit of a drought for both teams here to start out the third quarter. 3 points so far for Bend, and for Roseburg 4. And we're about midway through the quarter, so slowing down on the scoring so far. Half-time adjustments starting to work out. Backdoor cutter, Warmouth can't get free. Scott will feed it underneath to him. The turnaround, Colin Warmouth, a great spin move, gets him free. The defense was left flat-footed. And Roseburg out to a 52-38 lead. Kerr driving in, right blocks, back out to Meserich. He'll try a three, looks on target, it's just a little off. Brown down with the rebound, back out to Robertson, a three, it's short. Rebound comes down to Bend again. They'll get a third look at it. In the middle of the lane, buries it. Brock Meserich gets his 7th point of the night. Back to a 12-point game, 52-40, Roseburg in front. Warmouth cutting left side into the body of Brown, and he'll get it to roll over. He got bumped, no whistle, but the basket goes. Back to 14-point lead for Roseburg. Brown at the top, lobs it over the top into the corner for Robertson. To the top, feed it back underneath to Brown, working against Ellis, and Ellis's defense forces a bad shot. Driving right side, Jonathan Stone goes to the rim, but a foul called before he gets the finger roll. I would have liked to have seen him throw it down there as he broke free and got to the rim. Substitutions in for Bend after the foul. Quick check in on a couple of scores here from the college ranks. The UCC men leading 46-21 against Skagit Valley at home tonight as a baseline jumper on the inbound for Storm Scott is good. Back out to a 16-point lead for Roseburg. And in the NBA tonight, Portland Trailblazers leading by 10 against Toronto with 7:46 to go in the second quarter. Bend with the basketball in the half court. Out at the top, Noah Miller with it. He's just come into the game. Off the bench, into the corner. Right wing with it, Justin Kerr. Into the middle of the lane. Turnaround jumper is short for Max Tykro. 0 for 2 on the night for him. Roseburg brings it up. Seeley to Stone. Gets it right back to Seeley. Back to Stone. Lob across the floor to Ellis. Into the corner. Left side. Try to go underneath the Storm Scott. And the whistle as the ball goes across the baseline stays for Roseburg. Knocked out of bounds by Jimmy Robertson. 3:03 to play. Roseburg up 56-40. Inbound to Scott. Back out to the top to Seeley. He had some space. Doesn't pull the trigger. Goes to Warmouth in the corner. The turnaround three off the mark. First miss from behind the arc for Colin Warmouth. Bend up the floor. Around a screen. Robertson can't get free. Gets trapped out at the free throw, the perimeter. Hands it off to Kerr. Driving in against Storm. He gets redirected. To the far side, Noah Miller with it, picks up the dribble, pass out to the top, Robertson will reset. They whip it around to the near side. Around a screen, tried to go on the pick and roll, not there, and Bend will reset. Roseburg with good perimeter defense right now. Out on the far side, it's Reeser, a three, off the mark. Rebound comes down to Colin Warmouth. He came out of nowhere to pick that one off as it misses everything. Warmouth across the midcourt stripe to Storm Scott at the top. Straight away, working against Tyke Rowe. He'll drive in, left side, gets to the rim, the double clutch and finish. Off the glass with the left hand for the left-handed shooting, Storm Scott. And the Roseburg boys lead 58-40 as Ben wants a timeout to talk about it. We'll take one as well. Timeout by the Lava Bears. 60-second break. We'll take it as well on 1490 The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Back here in the third quarter, 2:08 to play as Bend out of the timeout will come in on an inbound play. They get it to Kerr on a three-point shot. It was off the mark. The rebound will stay with the Lava Bears. Driving in, Jimmy Robertson. He got Colin Warmouth, I think, with a knee, and Warmouth is doubled over and a foul at the top on a three-point shot by Robertson. He'll head to the free throw line. Warmouth, he's in pain. I'm kind of hoping, not for his sake, but I'm kind of hoping he just got hit in the man region, and it's not something to do with his hands. He's kind of got his hands that he's clutching, but I think he might have taken one to a sensitive area. So he's going to head to the bench. Yeah, that looks to be the case. And never a fun thing. He's going to go walk it off. So Colin Warmouth will get a quick breather here with 1:53 to play in the third quarter. Roseburg leading by 18, their largest lead of the game. At the line, Jimmy Robertson will try to cut into it, and he does with the first free throw. Roseburg basketball on the score is brought to you by Fisher's Hearth and Home, serving Douglas County for over 30 years with the largest selection of wood, gas, pellet, and electric stoves and fireplaces in the area. That's Fisher's Hearth and Home. 3 free throws here for Robertson. He's made 2. His second one coming. It's good. So he makes all 3, gets it back down to a 58-43 game, a 15-point game. Stone with it out on the right side. Roseburg will slow it down here with under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. D'Angelo Adams came in for Colin Warmouth. Pass into the corner to Adams. Ellis has an open look at a wing 3. It's a little long. Long rebound in the corner. Seeley will track it down. Out at the top, Stone will set up the offense. And the pass was tipped out of bounds off of the hands of Brian Warner, and he admits to it, agrees with the official. Warmouth will check back in. Caden Seeley takes a seat. Inbound goes all the way across the floor to Jonathan Stone to reset. A 1:20 to play in the third quarter. Roseburg holding. Warner marking Stone. Stone looked like he was going to try and take a jab step. He'll just continue to hold. Warner will mark him now. Hands off to Ellis. Back to the top to Storm. Scott looking underneath. Into the corner. Warmouth back underneath the Stone, and Warner got his hand on it to poke it away. Bend will outlet up the floor. Noah Miller. He circles back out. Underneath, back to the top. Wide open, near side 3. Meserich, it spins out. I don't know how it didn't go down. Meserich. Now Ben gets a steal, and it will stay with the Lava Bears. Roseburg almost got it back. The outlet, Ben took it away. Warner driving in. Contact, the bucket, and the foul. Jonathan Stone going to pick up another one. I believe his third. Warner will head to the free throw line for a 3-point play. Storm Scott will check out of the game. Xavier Avilés comes back in. And Brian Brown will check into the game for Ben. Coming out will be Max Tykro. A three-point opportunity here for Warner. Can't get it. Adams down with the rebound. Stays a 13-point game with 32 seconds to go. Ellis brings the ball up the floor. Hands it off to Warmouth. Pass near side to Adams. They go into the corner to Stone. Looking underneath, it wasn't there. They'll reset. Aviles to Adams. Underneath to Ellis. Looking for the wraparound lay-in, and he travels. Took one extra step. Gives it back to Ben with 16 and a half to play in the third. Trying to cut into the 12-point deficit it was at halftime. It's 13 right now. 8 seconds to go. Robertson calling for some help. Calls for a screen. Goes left side. Out to Mazurich. Mezerich's three is off the mark at the buzzer. And we'll head to the fourth quarter. Roseburg leading 58-45. Back after this 60-second break on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on three factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Fourth quarter action. Roseburg looking to hold on for a victory. They lead 58-45. Joey Keyran here with you. Ben with the basketball moving left to right. It'll be Noah Miller with it in the corner. Now Mazurich with it on the right wing. Bounce on the pick and roll underneath. Brian Brown. Brown now with 7 in the ball game as he gets the first points in the fourth quarter. And it's back to an 11-point game. Roseburg's led by as many as 18. Right side with it. Scott out to Avilés at the top. Warmouth trying for position underneath. It's not there. He'll come and get it in the corner. Into the corner. He thought about a three. Airborne. He makes the pass out to the top, and they'll reset. He had a man right on top of him. Would have been a very contested three. Warmouth gets it in the left corner. Drives baseline. Gets in the air. Hanging. The shot doesn't drop. Tip around by Ellis. It doesn't fall. Warmouth 25 through the first three quarters. His career high is 31. His average is 24. On the far side of the floor, Mazurich with it. Around the screen. The pick and roll. Doesn't quite work out for Warner. Back out to Mazurich. A three. It's flat. Off the rim. No good. Fight for the rebound. Roseburg basketball. The Ben faithful that made the trip over the mountains. Not happy with the call. Roseburg will have the basketball. 6:45 to play in the ballgame. Storm Scott has matched his career high here tonight. He's got 21 through three quarters. He continues to be impressive for Roseburg. In the corner, a three from Warmouth. High arcer, no good. Tip up on the rebound. And it's a Ben basketball. Storm Scott went up against Brian Warner trying to get to that one, and it'll be Scott to touch it last. Mezerich will check out of the game. Coming in for him, Aaron Chopra. Robertson will bring it up the floor, 6:24 to play. Starts on the right side, will dribble now to the left. Picks up his dribble just left of the top of the arc. Chopra into the corner for Warner. Back out to Robertson. Left wing. He looks to his right. He'll dribble that direction. Tries to get in the lane. Travels. He cradled the basketball. Tried to get into the lane, but too many steps to try and get around the Roseburg defense. Gives it back to the Indians. 6 minutes to play. Warmouth, a long pass up the floor to Ellis. Ben's defense recovers. Black will get it at the top. He dribbles right side. Jet Nearly has it taken away. He'll pass it to Ellis. Ellis into the corner. Storm. A travel. Shuffled his feet as he was getting set to launch that three. And back to Bend we go as the fourth quarter starts with a series of turnovers for both sides. 58-47, an 11-point lead. Bend has not had it under double figures since, I believe, the first quarter. Chopra in the lane, gets around Jet Black, and he lays it in. Aaron Chopra will make it a 9-point game. With 5:35 to go, and now Ben steals it away. And Roseburg's going to get it back, and it's a dunk by Warmouth. And a player down for Bend. There was a scrum for the basketball. Warmouth comes up with it, a throwdown, and Roseburg back up by double digits. Timeout down on the floor for the injury. The whistle blew the play dead. I think maybe a timeout, but in for the injury. The player down on the floor, I think might be Noah Miller. I don't see number 12 on the bench, so I do believe that's who it's going to be. Roseburg's on top 60-49 at the moment. A couple baskets away from matching their season average. Might have just had the wind knocked out of him. Gets up looking pretty sore as he's going to limp to the bench. And it looks like it might be his ankle as he limps to the bench, and his ankle already wearing a brace on it. That left ankle for Noah Miller does not seem to be feeling all that great for him. It'll be Bend basketball out of the injury timeout, trailing by 11 after the thunderous dunk from Colin Warmouth. 5:26 to play. Ben got it down to a 9-point game with 5:35 to go, but Roseburg able to fight their way back to double digits. Now a fight for the basketball on the floor, and Storm Scott's going to tie up Justin Kerr, and the jump ball called. Roseburg basketball on the possession arrow. Tribe will get it back. Trying to stretch it back out, led by 18 in the third quarter. Right side, Seeley with it, looking underneath the Warmouth. Warmouth comes out, gets it in the corner, a three. It's off the back iron. Seeley will get the rebound. And they'll reset again. Stone with it out at the top. Helping to establish the offense. Dribbles left side, trying to get to that baseline cutter. Now finds Storm Scott into the corner. Jet Black, an open look at a three. It's off the back iron, no good. And Ben will come up with the rebound. Roseburg gone a bit cold here in the second half, but they've been able to hold on. Chopra with it on the right side. Gets it down to Brown underneath. Harassed by Seeley, and he's too long with the bunny. 4:30 to play, fourth quarter. Warmouth walks it up across the timeline. Working against Kerr. He'll go to the right side. Passes it to Seeley. Driving into the corner. Stone, a head fake. Doesn't get the defender off of him. Underneath, three defenders against Seeley. Out to the top to Scott. He's going to drive in. And a whistle. 3 in the key is going to be the call against Caden Seeley. 4:12 to play. Roseburg basketball, good game here tonight, brought to you by Flyaway Travel. Contact their travel experts for your travel plans. Give them a call at 672-5701. Bend with the basketball, bringing it up the floor, trailing by 11, needing to get a rally going. Left side for Kerr. Looking underneath, marked by Jonathan Stone, who's got quite a few inches on him. Brown will come to get it underneath, in the middle of the lane, putting up a shot. It's off, the tip up no good, and 2 attempts underneath missed by Ishan Chopra, who had entered the game, the senior, the brother of the junior Aaron Chopra, and then he gets called for a foul on the rebound attempt underneath. 4th team foul, both teams at 4 right now, neither team in the bonus. Warmouth brings it up for Roseburg, running the point. He'll dribble to the left, gets it to Stone. Scott will have it at the top, looks to Warmouth on the right side. Now Scott gets it on the give and go to the rim. 2 players on the ground, and then a travel call, and everybody's on the ground. Scott missed the lay-in as he ran into, I believe, that might have been Aaron Chopra. Got the loose ball, was Brian Brown, and he tripped over one of his own players, gets called for a travel, and now he'll hop to the bench. His right ankle is the issue. Julie Deaver, the athletic trainer for Roseburg, already checking out one player for Bend. She'll have another one waiting in the wings. Roseburg gets the ball back on their own baseline. 60-49 your score, 3:35 to go. They'll go with the pass out to the top to Seeley, and he'll back it out. Warmouth to Black on the right side. The starting five on the floor for Roseburg here in the fourth quarter with 3:25 to play. Warmouth pestered out at the top by Kerr. Dribbles away from it, left side, gets free, goes to the left side of the lane, and a blocking foul called. That one goes against Ishan Chopra, who will pick up his second. Colin Warmouth heads to the free throw line. So far tonight, Roseburg just 3 free throw attempts. Not a lot. Warmouth can extend the lead here. First one rattles out. Tonight's game brought to you by Pepsi and Bigfoot Beverages and our friends at Good Vibration Solutions for home theater and automotive audio. You can feel it at Good Vibes. Second free throw for Warmouth. It gets deathly quiet. He hits the second. 61-49, 12-point lead for Roseburg, 3:15 to play. Aaron Chopra brings it up right side, pass out to the top to Warner. Almost threw his hands into the backcourt, but he saves it. Kerr with it on the left side of the floor, marked by Stone. They are not letting him get free from behind the arc. Warmouth out guarding Meserich. Meserich has been cold from behind the arc after hitting the three to start the game. Chopra with it on the right side. Aaron Chopra, the only Chopra out there on the floor right now. Crossover, Warner into the lane, kicks back out. Aaron Chopra, a deep three. It rims out. Scott down with the rebound. Roseburg will bring it up the floor. 2.5 to tick off for them to get their 6th win of the season. A crossover. Warmouth losing all the defenders, but a timeout on the floor by the Roseburg boys. Roseburg calls the timeout. We'll take it as well. A 30-second break, and back after this on 1490 The Score. Bringing you fourth quarter action here on 1490 The Score. Roseburg leading 61-49. Tonight's game brought to you by DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone's welcome to shop. Roseburg will have the basketball out of their timeout. Inbound into the backcourt to Colin Warmouth. 2:30 exactly to play in tonight's ball game. Roseburg looking to pull off a win. 61-49 your score. Hand off to Stone. Back to Warmouth. Goes baseline. Gets it to Scott. Driving left side. And he travels. He just needed to go up with it. He had the edge on the defender, but he wanted the head fake, and that's where he drug that back foot. Warner will bring it up the floor, reaching for it. Scott, he got lucky he didn't call for a foul there. Tip out of bounds by Warmouth on the far sideline. Storm came up. He wanted to try and get the steal, but got caught reaching against Warner. But Warner, his shake around the defender actually kept Storm from committing the foul. To the near side, and Caden Seeley marking up against Brock Meserich, and Meserich called for stepping on the sideline, and Roseburg will get the takeaway. Julie Deaver delivering ice to the end of the bench for the Bend Lava Bears. That is not a good sign for Bend, as they've had a couple of players go down with ankle injuries. Warmouth brings it across the timeline. They try to trap. He gets it to Jet Black on the near side. They double team in the middle on Scott, out to the top. They're going with that zone defense underneath. Scott gets free. The up and over, and Storm Scott with 2 sets a new career high here with Roseburg. 23 points for him. Meserich, a 3 off the back iron, no good. Tracking down the rebound in the corner is Jonathan Stone. He'll get it to Warmouth. Warmouth brings it up and crosses the court to Stone on the far side. Back out to Jet. Roseburg playing keep away here against this 2-3 zone from Bend as they try to find a way to get the ball taken away. A minute 20 to go. Roseburg, Chris passing through the zone. Warmouth, marked by Kerr, has the ball tipped away. Warmouth diving for it. He's going to be the last to touch it as it goes out on the near sideline. Justin Kerr with the sharp defense to take it away from Colin Warmouth. 1:10 to play in the ball game. Substitutions in for Bend. Back into the game is Noah Miller. He's limping a bit, but they must be bringing him back in for his three-point shooting. Speaking of which, a three from Warner. It rims out, and then a foul on the rebound by Caden Seeley. Seeley gets fouled as Roseburg not into the bonus yet. That foul committed by Justin Kerr, his third. Timeout on the floor. Ben gonna take a moment here. 16 fouls against the Lava Bears, 4 against Roseburg. Timeout on the floor by Bend. Back after this 30-second break here on The Score.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
.62 seconds left to play in this ballgame. Roseburg leads 63-49. They have the basketball. Ben going with full court pressure. Roseburg will inbound it into Colin Warmouth. He gets hammered, and that's the guy Roseburg wants the ball in the hands of here late in the ball game. Warmouth up to 28 on the night, combining with Storm Scott for 51. They combined for 52 earlier in the year. Warmouth buries the first free throw. He'll have another one coming as Roseburg is into the bonus now. So this is a 1-and-1 opportunity. And with the second free throw, Colin Warmouth gets to 30 points for a second time this season. 30 exactly for him. His career high is 31. 54 seconds to play. Ben trails 65-49. Kerr in the lane. Shot is off the rim, no good. Scott comes down with the rebound. He's pressured in the backcourt. They get it to Jet. Jet hammered in the backcourt. Loses the basketball. Stepping on the baseline, it'll go back to Roseburg. Tough pressure in the backcourt by the Lava Bears. They had 3 players all over Jet Black. Warmouth will get it in the backcourt. In the corner, one-on-one coverage, double team comes. He tries to dribble away from it, and he's fouled. He'll walk the other side of the floor for a 1-and-1 opportunity. So if he can get them both here, Colin Warmouth will set a new career high at 32. Knock on particle board. Warmouth at the line, a 1-and-1 opportunity for him. He gets the first, ties his career high, 66-49. Roseburg basketball tonight is brought to you by Bimart. Score big at Bimart, where you can get ready for your season for less. And there it is. At the free throw stripe, Colin Warmouth sets a new career high, 32 points here tonight, 32 of Roseburg's 67. Pass in the lane to Warner. He gets it to Tykero for a baseline jumper. That too is good. 67-51. Inbound into Scott. Scott at the baseline, and he'll draw a foul. And Storm Scott with a career high tonight. He can add to that. So a couple of career nights for Roseburg's top scorers. And the Indians look like they should, with 17 seconds, should have this one in hand. Roseburg's season high is 77 points. They'll fall short of that, but they do eclipse their season average of 63.8. Bend came in averaging 61 in 3 games. They're at 51 at the moment. First free throw is good for Scott. The lefty will look for a second one. And that's good as well. Roseburg at 69-51, 15 seconds to play. Chopra to Warner to Kerr out at the top. Crossover dribble. Roseburg trying to steal it away. They get it to Warner. Baseline jumper. Rolls off. Jet Black down with the rebound. Gets it to Warmouth. And they're just going to let the clock run out as the Roseburg boys win tonight. Your final score, 69-51. Roseburg back in the win column after a one-game hiatus, and they hand the Ben Lava Bears their first loss of the season. Final again, 69-51. Your Roseburg Indians victorious tonight, and we'll recap it for you when we come back with the Roseburg Disposal postgame show right here on Douglas County's home for sports, CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on three factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
What's coming up for Roseburg basketball?
Watch Roseburg basketball games at 541radio.com.
We welcome you back for the Roseburg Disposal postgame show. Let them make the run to the dump for you. That's Roseburg Disposal. Give them a call at 673-7122. Welcome into the postgame show where tonight we get to recap Roseburg's 69-51 victory on top of the Ben Lava Bears. Ben coming in ranked number 17 by the OSAA. 3-0 on the season. They head home with a loss for the first time this year. Roseburg moves to 6-1 on the year. They came in at number 3 in the state in the OSAA power rankings. We'll see where things take them after tonight's action. Well, Roseburg led by double digits throughout much of the game. They finish out with the 18-point win. Seal the victory from the free throw line. Give credit to Ben. They did not quit. They cut it down to a 9-point game with 5:35 to go in the fourth quarter. Made it a 58-49 score, but from there, Roseburg finishes out on an 11-2 run to seal the win here tonight. Strong victory for the Roseburg boys as they outscore Ben in the second half, 23-16 to extend their 12-point halftime lead and pull away for the big win. We'll recap more with stats and other details from tonight's game when we come back with more of your Roseburg Disposal postgame show. Stay tuned after this 2-minute break here on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
Stay tuned for more Roseburg basketball on 541radio.com.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on three factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Welcome you back here to Stuart W. Robertson Memorial Gymnasium tonight. The Roseburg boys victorious against the Bend Lava Bears. Final score 69-51. Joey Kieran here with you. Tonight's game has been brought to you by Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair. Are you ready to go where life takes you? And by our friends at Pepsi and Bigfoot Beverages, and by Cascade Community Credit Union. It's time now to take a look at some individual scoring from tonight's ball game. First for the visiting Bend Lava Bears. Leading the way with 14 points. Only player in double figures for the Lava Bears. 14 points for Jimmy Robertson. He had a big second and third quarter to get to his double digits. Behind him, 8 points for Brian Warner. 7 points for Brock Meserich. 7 points for Brian Brown. 6 points for Noah Miller. And you had 3 points for Justin Kerr. 2 points for Aaron Chopra, Trevin Reeser, and Max Tykrow. And that is your scoring there for Bend. Rebounding, 9 rebounds for Brian Brown, 5 tonight for Brian Warner. 1 rebound for Max Tykrow, 1 for Noah Miller, and 2 for Justin Kerr. Turnovers for Bend tonight, total 17 in the ball game. On the other side for the Roseburg boys, scoring tonight led by Colin Warmouth with a career-high 32 points here tonight, as he gets to 30 for a second time here this season. A career night also for Storm Scott tonight. He gets to 25 points this evening, as he had 16 in the first half. He gets another 9 in the second half as the second leading scorer for Roseburg. The two combined for 57 of Roseburg's 69 points. Jet Black had 6 points for Roseburg tonight on 2 3-pointers, and Xavier Avalez finishes with 6 tonight for Roseburg as well. Other numbers for the Tribe. You had 8 rebounds tonight for Storm Scott, 5 rebounds for Caden Seeley, 4 for Colin Warmouth, 3 rebounds for Jet Black, D'Angelo Adams, and Carson Ellis, and 2 rebounds for Jonathan Stone here tonight. And Roseburg finishes with 16 turnovers in tonight's ball game. Well, that is a look at your numbers for tonight's teams. We'll take our final break of the postgame show. Come back, we will take a look at some other scores from around the region, and we'll name tonight's Abby's Legendary Pizza Legendary Player of the Game. So stay with us, folks. This is Roseburg Basketball on CBS Sports Radio 1490. The Score.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
Here's what's coming up for Roseburg basketball.
Watch Roseburg basketball games at 541radio.com.
Final score, 69-51. Roseburg defeating Bend here tonight. Roseburg basketball on 1490 Score. Tonight's post-game show brought to you by Roseburg Disposal. Let them make the run to the dump for you. Well, tonight Roseburg wins, and it's thanks to career nights from a couple of different players. As tonight we name our Abby's Legendary Pizza Legendary Player of the Game, and we split the award up. 2 players with really good shooting nights tonight, and they both finished with career-high numbers. Colin Warmoth and Storm Scott. Got a feeling they are going to be having a lot of nights kind of like tonight where they combine for a lot of points. But they both really the kind of one of the more amazing numbers that they had here tonight. They both started. They combined through the start of the third quarter. They were combined 8 for 8 from behind the arc. Neither of them missed a 3 until the third quarter, and Warmoth made his first three-point attempt in the third quarter. Combined 8 for 8 from behind the arc tonight to start out the game. Not too shabby for Storm Scott and Colin Warmoth. The seniors are Abby's Legendary Pizza Legendary Players of the game. Well, as we wrap things up here, want to get you some scores from other matchups going on around the Umpqua Basin. Start out with some boys basketball scores. Here's what we've got. 46-32, final score. Elkton defeats Mapleton tonight. South Umpqua lost against Phoenix 86-56 earlier today in the Evergreen tournament down at Hidden Valley High School. Sutherland defeats North Valley 48-26 in the Les Schwab Holiday Tournament. South Coast Holiday Tournament there. From the Southwest Conference, some of the other matchups, South Eugene and Southridge tonight, South Medford and Golden Valley, California. Sherwood taking on Sheldon tonight. No scores from any of those matchups to pass along. The Roseburg JV team lost 53-33 against Bend prior to the varsity game here tonight. On the girls' side, Days Creek losing against Perrydale 46-33 in tournament action today. Elkton in a tournament losing by 3 against Country Christian 52-49. The Riddle girls fell 66-17 against Bandon tonight. North Douglas gets a win against Lowell in a low-scoring game, 24-12. Also in girls action, South Umpqua falls to Fall River, 45-35. Fall River out of California. And the Sutherland girls lose 54-30 against Astoria tonight. From the college ranks, this one in the second half, it looks like 7:28 to play. And the Umpqua Riverhawk men leading 79-37 against Skagit Valley. That's a big win there. Skagit Valley came in a ranked team in the latest coaches poll and 8-1 on the year. And so that head coach Daniel Leeworthy and the Umpqua men, they're proving a little bit of something there with a big lead against Skagit Valley in the second half. And the Portland Trailblazers in the third quarter with 9:39 to play. They have a lead on top of the Toronto Raptors, the Eastern Conference leading Toronto Raptors, 63-54. The score with just around 9 minutes to play in that third quarter, that Blazers game. All right, that is what we've got for you here, folks, tonight, and we will send you on your way here on this Friday night. Don't forget, coming up tomorrow, it's Rudolph Run. If you'd like to take part, come on out to the Cascade Community Credit Union location on Harvard Avenue and stop on by. We'll be out there about 9 o'clock setting things up, and we get ready to take off around 10 o'clock, so make sure you're out there by then. As we wrap things up, want to let you know For the Roseburg boys, coming up next, they'll be on the road at Centennial up in Gresham. That'll be next Tuesday. Tip-off at 6 o'clock. We'll have coverage starting at 5:45 for you here on The Score and online at 541radio.com. Want to say thanks to head coach Scott Baker and the entire Bend Lava Bears program, helping us get ready for tonight's program. That was they provided some help there in the pregame show. Appreciate that. Want to say thanks to athletic director Russ Bullen, head coach Mike Parton, and the entire Roseburg boys basketball program for allowing us to bring you another season of Roseburg basketball here on 1490 The Score. I want to say thanks to Brenton Cranford back in the studio for the radio production tonight. Thanks to Heather Nelson for help with the video production tonight. And thanks to Josh Nelson for help with stats and scorekeeping this evening as well. And as always, a thanks to you, the fan, for tuning in for tonight's broadcast because, of course, without you, I'm just a guy sitting here talking to myself. I'm Joey Keyran, folks. We hope you tune in next Tuesday night when the Roseburg Indians hit the road for Centennial, where they'll take on the Eagles. Tip-off coming up at 6 o'clock. Pre-game coverage will start at 5:45. We'll have the action for you streaming online at 541radio.com, and you can also follow it right here on Douglas County's home for sports, CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score. All right, Brenton, thank you very much.